I wanted to ask you. You had said something in part one. No, not even something. Your point of as far as the different stages of enlightenment and getting to know God and stuff like that. Would you say that happens in cycles?
Definitely. I would say that it happens in. I would say it happens in cycles, like everything.
Mm-hmm.
I think that everything goes around like a Ferris wheel. I think that most things that you see, it's times where you all the way at the bottom of the Ferris wheel. It's times when you all the way at the top. And the times that you coming down and you scared and you're like, oh, what's about to happen? Those usually are the most exciting times. And then right afterwards, you at the bottom again, right? Sometimes what I like to relate those times to are the ups and downs of life. So it's times in life where, like, let's say like you lose your job or a family member pass away or like something negative happen and you like, God, why? But a lot of the times right after that negativity, like if you have the right mindset, the best thing can like blossom out of that, like a beautiful flower and just blossom out, or like a butterfly that was in a cocoon.
Or like
and
the rose that grew from concrete.
I like the rose that grew from concrete, like my boy Tupac said, you know what I'm saying? So it's like those are cycles though, you know what I mean? So yeah, definitely cycles that happen within that.
Okay.
Like we was talking about in part one.
Okay. I was just curious because, like, when you was talking about it, it's like, I definitely feel like I've experienced all of that, but I also feel like prior to me experiencing, like, that darkness after I got, like, saved, I felt like right before I thought I was straight and I thought I was experiencing that. Y'all just don't understand. Y'all just don't get it. And it kind of, like, happened all over again. So I was just curious for my own thoughts.
Can I ask you a question?
What's T?
So boom. As a woman, what's been one of the things, like during those times, during those times of up and downs, what's been the things that help you stay positive and staying motivated during those times of darkness or during those times of hardships?
Well, I will say as a grown woman, what keeps me going and looking forward is refusing to be back in a dark space that I was in when I was an adolescent. Because when I was an adolescent, I was suicidal. And specifically on my last attempt, I had to stay in the treatment center for about 10 days or something like that. And it was horrible. It was like I was locked up. Yeah, don't let me out.
Yeah. Akon.
Literally. And like, it was crazy. Like I had to stay on the unit. Like the room I was, assigned to, like literally the only thing in there is the bed and it's like this plastic cubby thing on the wall. Couldn't have my phone. Couldn't tie my hair up at night because they said you could use that as a weapon. So oh my God, hair not even laid.
That's a traumatic experience too. That's like next level traumatic.
And mind you, this is the summer before my senior year of high school. So it's like, experiencing that, like, had to use the phone on the unit, like visitation, like telling you when to eat.
How long did they have you in there?
Like 10 days probably.
Like 10 days?
Probably.
Did you transform a lot in those 10 days?
Well, I learned my number one thing I do, like in my routine which is journaling. I journal every day. It don't matter where I'm at, what I'm doing. Like it's essentially like my breathe before I start my day.
For starting your day.
Yeah, it's like because I'm an overthinker too. You say you like to think a lot. I'm an overthinker a lot. Fortunately and unfortunately, you feel what I'm saying? It has its pros, it has its cons. So it's like, one of the things I tell people, like as far as like in my tribe and stuff, just like make sure you breathe today. Like, did you breathe today? And that's my version of that. Okay. So it's like if I don't though, it's a part of me also grounding myself in my own reality. So it's like if I don't take the time to write out my thoughts, now all day my day is gonna be thrown off because I didn't even really process what happened yesterday.
Right. So you trying to like really see what's going on now. But like it sounds like through all of your experiences and all the things that you've been through, what you're telling me is like you've been able to transform into what they call a Proverbs 31 woman. And so to be able to transform and elevate and become this level of woman, what's made you be able to be so vulnerable with not just the good, right? Because most Proverbs 31 is a lot of good about the wisdom of that woman.
And what is
but
that?
It's also things she
what is
overcame.
that verse specifically?
Well, so I don't want to misquote it. You know what I'm saying? But it's actually a whole. It's actually a whole verse. It's a couple of verses of a type of woman that a real king, if in my opinion, should be seeking. You know what I mean?
Go ahead.
Salute to all my black kings out there in the world. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, what they say about her?
But I mean, she's a woman of patience. She's a woman of understanding. She's a woman of God. She's a woman of love. She's a woman of peace. Right? She's really like. She's that woman who's able
that
to.
Girl, no.
She's her. You know what I'm saying? You know how to be like, I'm him. She's her. You know what I'm saying? And it sounds like you've been able to transform through all of the things that you've went through. I wanted to say the BS, the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But the things that you've went through to be able to come that butterfly. You no longer that caterpillar, right? But like, what makes you so comfortable to be able to share and be vulnerable to people? Because I know sometimes they got to bring up some of the old pangs. But what helps you to be so vulnerable about all the things you went through to become the beautiful butterfly that you are today?
I'm crying. Well, first things first, I talk a lot. In general, like literally anytime report card came out, talkative.
She talking too much in school.
Class disruption. Like, had to move me around. I'm gonna make a friend. But all jokes aside though, this is my purpose. My pain was my purpose. If I didn't experience, the trauma and, the pain and the lessons, like, I wouldn't be sitting here today. You feel what I'm saying? Like, wisdom for women, this modern day ministry to bring light to one's darkness. And I feel like that's not solely, I should say, but in my knowing right now, that's why God put me on earth. And so, as far as the Blue Heart Project, like I literally started that after my first spiritual journey and just realizing like, because I was beefing with God too. We talked about part one how you was beefing with God. I was beefing with God too because, I was just like, why am I just such a good person? And I keep going through all this messed up stuff. Like my very first relationship, the young man that took my virginity, that ended up being an abusive relationship. And so mentally, emotionally, and physically. Mind you, I'm in high school. So that's crazy. But long story short, after that, I went on my first spiritual journey, like I said. And, I was beefing him because I'm just like, I don't understand why I'm this good person and all this like stuff keep happening to me, because obviously that's not the only trauma I faced like in my adolescent childhood, whatever. But that's, neither here nor there. But long story short, I discovered and just realized like it's because I created you to be pure. I created you to be the example that you don't have to allow society to turn you cold. You don't have to allow what people, the predicaments that people put you in to numb you. You feel what I'm saying? So the idea behind the Blue Heart Project is the Blue Heart concept. We learn in science that our blood and organs and stuff like that have a blue hue until oxygen hit. Then it turns red.
Right.
So the idea behind the Blue Heart is the pure heart. The heart before toxicity, the heart before the trauma, the heart before the heartbreak, and just all of the things that happens in life. The heart before the world, the heart before the corruption. Yeah. And so with me knowing that's my purpose and being sure of my purpose, now sitting down here and just, being aware of that for years now, I feel like that's just what it is. That's what I was put here to do. So it's like when I'm not operating in my purpose, something missing. Because I don't receive the fulfillment that I receive when I'm operating in my purpose, I don't get that high from nothing else. Yeah. So, and like I told you before, I have a very strong relationship with God. So like, I know when I'm not moving how I'm supposed to. Like it's literally to the point where like the Holy Spirit don't even let me ignore it no more. Which is annoying.
It's a loud voice. It's no level. It's no longer a whisper. Yeah. It's loud and it's like, no, you're not supposed to do this. You are supposed to do that. And if you don't listen, it will be true consequences. With great power comes great responsibility.
Man, heavy is the head.
Yeah,
but yeah,
that
so
wears the crown.
I hope I answered your question.
You did. I appreciate you being so vulnerable and being able to open up to us and open up to me. Like, cause I'm diving in too. You know what I'm saying? I know you interviewing me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm kind of interviewing you and getting to know the things you got going on too. You know, I'm just curious, and so I appreciate you for keeping it real, keeping it a buck with me. You know
keeping it a stack. You already know.
Real H-Town with it.
But we're back, guys, with part 2. Did you miss us?
What's happening?
We back with part 2, though. This is Wisdom for Women. I am your host, Eris Simone, founder of the Blue Heart Project, host of Wisdom for Women, certified life coach and mental health professional. We back with Mr. Matthews in the building.
We are, and I listen. When you first told me, Eris, when you was like, "Can you come on to Wisdom for Women?" I was like, "Are you sure? I'm not a woman, but I got a lot of wisdom." You know what I'm saying? So I was like, "Cool, let's do it." I appreciate the invitation.
The thing is, women are the backbone of civilization.
Say that again.
And we are the first teachers that humanity will ever experience, and so it's very important for us to receive knowledge from every direction and from every avenue. It's also just as important for us to actually heal, actually evolve.
Right.
Because think about the state of a woman and think about why, arguably women were put here. If we're talking about how we birth mankind, say the woman is hurting, in pain, bad environment, all of the things. All of that energy is harboring in her womb. You know what I'm saying? So you want to talk about bringing life into the world. So if you're toxic and if you're hurting and all of the things, what are you actually giving to your child? And then, okay, you birth your child. What are you actually providing and instilling into this person that is now going to be the future? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's really a situation where it's not even about you being a man. It's really about the idea that I really want women to tap into their goddess consciousness. Because if not, we just gonna continue to perish. Like the world is gonna continue to go to shit.
And what made me really come onto the podcast too is because I sit back and look at it on a spiritual level. At the end of the day, the woman, like you said, is the first teacher. And whether you a young boy or a young woman, you're being taught by your mother.
Yeah.
And you love nobody more than your mother. I don't care who. You don't love nobody like mama.
Yeah.
And mama can either make you love the world or hate the world.
Man.
If you had a great mama, my mama, Eris, my mama was amazing.
I love that.
Oh, my mama was that girl, man. I ain't gonna lie. I know everybody think their mama great. My mama was great. I got the best mama in the world. Hey, Kalisha Regina Demon, I love you, baby. You the one. My mama was the one. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's how I feel. I really feel that way, like to the bottom, to the deepest depths of my soul.
Absolutely.
My mama was so amazing. And so, like, if you feel that way about your mama, you treat women a certain type of way, right? Or about your mother. If you feel that way, if you feel the opposite, like, man, my mama wasn't nothing. My mama really ain't give me no love. She ain't give me no comfort, no this, no that. Then you kind of treat women the same way, whether you a woman or a man. How you feel about your woman, your mother determines how you act and how you interact with the rest of the world. So, it's a pleasure. It's a true pleasure, and I'm very grateful to be on your podcast. Thank you for the invitation.
I'm
It's
grateful to
amazing.
have you. Oh my gosh, guys, he's been giving me my flowers like the whole time, and it's just like, oh. No, I appreciate you giving me my flowers while I'm still here, though.
Real talk, though. Real
For
talk.
sure.
I mean, I'm not just being flattery. I'm telling
No,
you.
yeah. You know, we locked in. Ain't no switching up.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, yes. So we've been talking about a lot. The conversation has been amazing thus far, and I definitely want to continue it.
Okay, let's go. Let's get it.
So we're just gonna dive pretty deep.
What's next? Oh, I'm nervous. Oh, she got me scared.
Seriously though, all jokes aside.
All right. What's up?
Women in finances.
Let's talk about it.
What are your thoughts on women being an asset financially in romantic relationships? What is that? What are your thoughts?
Okay.
Part 1. What does that look like to you? Part 2.
So can I ask a clarification question? So when you ask, what's my thoughts about women being an asset? When you say that, are you are you speaking specifically with women bringing financial resources to the relationship, or financial know-how and thought to the relationship, like strategy?
Both.
Okay.
That's why I said, like, just as far, because obviously we know a woman is so much. When we say a woman is an asset, it literally has everything to do with everything she is. Okay. But financially, specifically, what on both ends? You feel what I'm saying? What are your thoughts on that?
So specifically, I want to speak to the black woman.
Okay.
Because specifically with the black woman, a woman being a financial asset to the relationship is critical. Our black women are this is statistics, facts. I'm not stating opinions. Our black women are the highest rate of women graduating from college with bachelor degrees as well as with master's degrees. They are the highest.
That's right. Y'all better go to school.
Y'all better talk. You better talk that talk. You know what I'm saying? And not that school teach you everything, but it does teach you a lot. And statistically, our black women, whether they are in a relationship or single, are the backbone of the household and the family, right? So I think that, like, it's very important for the black woman to have a financial baseline, I would say, which is why at Black Wall Street we help with financial literacy. Because if you, as the black woman, most black boys and black girls, when it comes to finances, look up to mama. They like when you get your first apartment, you calling mama asking, "Mama, I need a cosigner. What am I supposed to do?" When you get your first car, "Mama, they said my credit is this bad. I gotta have somebody else to help me with this credit. What am I supposed to do?" When you opened up your first business, "Mama, I got it's mama, is mother, it's mama. I need this help." So if the black woman, the mother, isn't financially sound,
child,
then we in trouble in America, because let's just keep it real, right? I'm 30 years old in America. I was born in 1993. I'm a 90s baby. Most of us 90s babies, 90s, 80s, whatever, shit, even 2000 babies. We talking to mama for financial advice. So if mama ain't equipped with the financial advice and what she's supposed to tell us, then we're only as equipped as our mother is, right? So it trickles down. It's like
domino effect.
It's a domino effect. It's like one of my mentors told me a long time ago. Whenever you do something, you want to act like water going downhill. Water going downhill is going to find the easiest way and the easiest access to be able to flow. So information flows downhill, right? So as information is flowing downhill, whether that's from the top to the bottom, the mother to the child, right? The head of the household. And if the mother is with the father, right? The mother is still with the father. It's still a joint effort. And when the father's out at work and the mother's at home answering questions, it's still mama was this, not daddy was this a lot of the time. So for that to be the case, the mother has to be educated. So I think that the mother is the most important, and one of the most important, right? The black man is super important as well, but the mother is one of the most important assets to the family when it comes to being financially literate, and when it comes to, you know, college education, when it comes to buying a house, when it comes to buying a car, because everybody ain't gonna go to college. Everybody is
Everybody
not meant
don't
for
meant
college.
to go to college.
That's a fact.
Like, college is hard. Honestly.
College is hard. It is. It's not the easiest thing. It's not the cheapest thing either. It's going up every year after year. But everybody's meant to be successful. So if you want to be successful, and you should, and if you want your child to be successful, you have to teach them certain principles. For instance, I wasn't taught as a child that I should be saving 10% of every dollar I make. I wish that I was taught. I should have been taught. Because this is the thing about humans. Humans are creatures of habits. We're habitual creatures. So we do things that are our habits, Eris. And what I've learned that is, if your mother or if your parents teach you a habit when you're young, it lives with you the rest of your life. If you're not taught that habit, you can try to acquire it, but it's hard. It's very difficult to acquire a new habit. So mothers should be teaching our children habits about saving, habits about credit. When I was young, my mom didn't teach me anything about credit. I was 18. I got a Discover card when I was 18 in high school. I turned 18 when I was in high school still.
Okay.
And Discover was sending me, hey, them boys were sending me cards. They gave me a card for $800. I was like, oh shit, nah. I got $800 on the card. Y'all done messed up. I'm using that card. I'm 18. I'm swiping that card every time I go to the movies. Every time, but not realizing I should have been paying that card off.
Yeah.
I should have been doing. I should have cared about my credit.
Yeah.
But my mother wasn't bestowing that knowledge onto me, right?
Yeah.
Whether she didn't know it or whether she just wasn't thinking about it. So I think that a lot of now in 2024, right? It's 2023, but in a month we'll be in 2024. So in 2024, Black women, white women, Hispanic women, Asian women, whoever you are as a woman, should be thinking about what you bestow into your children, because they're your sons, your daughters, they're gonna do these things whether you teach them or not.
Yeah.
So you need to learn these things and teach them about saving 10% of every dollar they make. Every dollar. I don't care. If you give them $10 for allowance, you need to tell them, take $1 of this 10, put it in a shoebox, or put it in your bank account for savings. You only got $9 to spend. You don't have $10. That teaches them about taxes. That teaches them about saving. It teaches them the habit of realizing that every dollar you get is not your dollar.
Yeah.
And it's not. Every dollar you get is not yours. A lot of us don't learn that until we enter corporate America, until we enter entrepreneurship, until we enter the real world.
Yeah.
And then we're blindsided. Like, hold on, mama, you ain't teach me this. I ain't know I got to pay tax 30% for taxes.
Man.
And what about for me? I don't got nothing in my savings account. I'm broke. Because they didn't learn the habit. So I think that, women should be able to learn those financial principles, because if they pass those principles down to their kids in the future generations, that's how we actually create generational wealth. And that's what we need in the Black community. We need generational wealth, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. Ironically enough, I learned money management and budgeting from my mother. Okay. She would sit me down. Like I told you in part one, my father became ill when I was very young. So she became the head of the household. You feel what I'm saying? So literally when I started working and stuff like that, like, I don't know, she was a little strict with me. She like, you need to put away 30%. And so I'd be like,
she was heavy with
it. Like, but also too understanding that she was probably in the space of, you never know what could happen. Like saving for a rainy day, like that was a real thing in my house. Yeah. Like, because them rainy days, it was storming for a minute. You feel what I'm saying? Like my father's still ill, but that's neither here nor there. So with that, she would sit me down. She would show me how much she made. She would show me how much the bills is. She would show me how much groceries is. She would show me how much car note, all the expenses. And then she would show me what she got left over, and then, all of the things. So I learned that being really young, but it's crazy how I'm really seeing in real time how I was raised very different from a lot of women my age. Because keep in mind, I'm only 25 years old. So I
ain't realize that.
He was like,
she just woke me up. Huh? You see that? See my eyes? So, you know what I'm saying?
So
your boy just turned 30. I'm big 3-0 out here.
Yeah, and I just turned 25.
When's your birthday?
November 11th. 11/11.
Okay. 11/11. I was September 24th. My boy got married on 11/11. Shout out to Justin and Chasso.
I love
y'all. 11/11. I'll never forget that date. Y'all 1 year anniversary. Shout out to y'all. Love y'all.
It's gonna be lit. I hope y'all last forever, because that's a very special day.
They forever too, and they just had a baby. Shout out to Lil Janelle. I love you, Lil Janelle.
This is getting ghetto.
Baby Janelle. My bad. I'm shouting out the homies. Okay, let's keep it elevated, because we talking business.
Oh my
and I am a
God.
CEO.
I'm like, okay.
I am a COO. let's reestablish the level of business that we actually do out here.
Let's reestablish some decorum. Okay,
right, I got you.
For sure. But so in being arguably still in my early 20s, the girls that are out here and their mentality and just, all the things, even social media, and just like the conversations that they having, it's just like, I wonder what's funny in having like homeboys and stuff like that, I'm like the auntie low key. They come to me about the relationship problems, stuff like that. And one thing I really be telling them is like, y'all need to start meeting their moms, because you keep wondering why she's so problematic, why she's so argumentative, why she immature and all the things. Meet her mom off the early. Off the early. I really feel like that's a hack, because that's gonna show you everything you need to know.
I'm gonna add to that.
Okay.
Can I add to that?
Yeah.
And you might not like this. All right, boom. Y'all might not like this neither. But I'm gonna be honest. I can't do nothing but be honest. My honesty is like, if you look at a person's upbringing, it tells you a lot about what type of human she is.
Yeah.
Or he is.
Yeah.
And people be like, no, people can change. People can this. They can.
They can.
But the average person, if you look at their upbringing from their mother to their father, it tells you a lot about who they are. And when we talking about money management, if you look at a woman's upbringing from what she's seen in the household around money management and how to handle money and what to do with money and how it's just how you should operate. Like you just said, your mother told you to save 30%. You know what I'm saying? My mother didn't tell me to save anything. You know what I mean? My mama told me go get it. And I mean, I'm a boy, so maybe she was like, yeah, he's just a man. He gonna do what he do.
He gonna figure it out.
He gonna figure it out. But when you got certain principles that was instilled in your household at a young age, it plays a huge. It stays with you. It plays a huge role with you for the rest of your life. And so, like, that's one thing I tell my homeboys. I'm like, man, y'all out here, when you talking to a woman, or you talking to a new girl, or you trying to like, I got friends who trying to start getting married.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which I understand. It makes sense. You trying to get married and everything.
Do you not want to get married?
Oh, I definitely gonna be married. I'm gonna be married with like 3 to 5 kids. We might have 6 the way we gonna be doing. We jackrabbits. But anyway, you know what I'm saying?
Pray for her vagina.
Pray for her. Pray for her. We're gonna have some twins too. It's all good, baby. I love you. I don't even know who she is.
Lord have mercy.
She out here though. Nah, but I'm cool with 2 to 3. But if we have more, I'm cool. But anyways, but financially though, I'm like that though. I'm really like, yo, what's your dad like? What's your mom like? These are questions that I teach my young boys. Like my like.
Oh, you got kids?
No, I have no kids. I have 0 kids yet. I'm kid free yet. Okay. But when I say my young boys, my mentees, I teach a lot of kids who are young men. These dudes 19, 20, 21, 25. Nah, they grown, but I call them my young boys. Yeah. What I'm saying? But like my little homies.
You 30 with no kids.
I'm 30 with no kids.
I'm like, that's crazy.
I know. I'm like a unicorn out here.
Yeah.
And they can get deep. I almost had one, but you know, we had stuff that happens.
Yeah.
So it's the reason, you know, I would have had one already. But anyways.
Keep derailing.
We ain't gonna digress. You the one brought it up. You 30 with no kids. I thought I should clarify. Anyways. It's fine. But I really do tell them, like, look at a woman and ask her about her relationship with her mother and her dad and what her mother and dad has taught her and bestowed upon her. I'm not saying that makes her a good woman or a bad woman, but it does show you a lot about her mindset around money and around finances and how she'll operate. That's her default. Now, as a man, right, if you got a woman who's open and willing to learn and listen, then you can guide her to the lessons that you want to guide her to, especially if you're a strong leader. That's why men should become stronger leaders. Most men should be working on becoming a stronger leader and a better communicator. Leading is not telling her what to do and she's just going to do it because you said it. Most women, hell no, they ain't going to do that. But if you learn how to really lead, right, and you lead her the right way, she's going to do what you say do because she wants to, because of the wisdom that she trusts your leadership, the wisdom that you bestow upon her. She know, like, this man ain't leading me into no wrong way. I'm tripping by even going against him. I need to do what he telling me to do right now. Yeah. So you know that, but a lot of younger guys, especially within the black community, have to learn that level of leadership because they didn't see it. Some of my main mentors came from broken families, like most of the black community. So they didn't have a dad in their household. They didn't have a male figure. They didn't even have a male figure to show them what it was. My dad wasn't in my house, but he was in my life. So I had at least a male figure. They didn't even have a male figure to teach them, right? And I had coaches. I played ball, all this other stuff. So like I teach a lot of them principles and lessons when they asking me questions. Yo, Martel, how do we handle like women, bro? I want to find me a good girl, bro. A lot of these girls are out here hot thottianas, you know what I'm saying? Right here, and I had to teach them a little bit about what to do and how to talk to them when it comes to finding a great woman.
This is the thing, right?
Talk to me.
It blows me so much because men are, and I'm not even gonna just do the whole men thing. As people, we gotta stop wanting stuff that we can't handle. I'm gonna say that again, and I'm gonna go into detail because we have to stop wanting stuff that we cannot handle. And if you really even want to get spiritual, God not gonna bless you with something that He know you gonna fumble anyway. So it's just like everybody want to be a millionaire. Can you even properly manage 10 bands? Every man want a great woman. Every good girl you done came across, you done broke her heart, and you done like fumbled her for hoes. So it's just like that was triggering because it's just like. I feel like
I did my job. I'm supposed to hit a nerve. Master
the level that you're on so you can get to the next level. You feel what I'm saying? And take the wisdom that you have. Like it's because that's just like so like you've even but also too because obviously this we talk about women as well. Women want a successful, high earning man,
6 figures, 6 feet.
All the things, but we just gonna talk about how he shows up as far as providing financially. Every woman want that, but on the back end, you don't like the fact that this man is always busy.
Right.
You don't like the fact that he probably has to be gone a lot because he can't make money being laid up under you.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like it's gonna be seasons where he's building, so he's probably not doing the most for you right now financially because you can't build and trick at the same time. It just don't work like that. You feel what I'm saying? So it's just like across the board, we gotta stop wanting stuff that we can't handle because everything that you gonna acquire is gonna be a level of responsibility that come with that. It's gonna be a level of maintenance that come with that. So it's just like I really want whoever gonna see this to really like take the time to even like think like, okay, so like I want an M. You know you're gonna have to pay taxes on that M. All right. And are we talking about M liquid? Are we talking about see how it get treacherous?
And most people don't want that. They don't even realize what they say they want. Like for instance, like one of my first goals was to hit 50,000 in business. And when I first hit 50,000 a month in business, I remember feeling like, damn, I've really just accomplished my first goal, right? And like, but at that point, right, like I wanted to be a millionaire. I'm still on the route, right? And I'll probably hit that this year, honestly. Period. But as I'm growing and doing my things in business, right? I remember like realizing like 50,000 a month, that's only 600,000 a year. That's it, right? Most people though, to the average person,
only that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm just saying because like I mean I got homies who like my boy Marcus Bauer. Shout out to my boy. He made 100 million in the last since he started his company. You know what I'm saying? Them boys they bring in 23-30 million a year. So but like. But at 600,000, right, which is like only 600,000, 50,000 is 50,000 a month. People don't break it down the numbers. Like people really don't realize I want to be a millionaire. No, you don't. You really just want financial stability. Most people don't.
That's the core. Yeah,
that's the core. Because if you really break down what you really want, right, it's a audio on YouTube called "The Strangest Secret in the World." By Earl Nightingale. Amazing audio. And I was listening to it this morning, right? And that audio talks about what the strangest secret in the world is, which is how to become successful. And he says that if you ask 100 people what they wanted to be when they were a kid, almost 80% of them say, I want to be a success. I want to be rich. But if you ask them after they turn 65, he said one of them is financially independent. 5 is rich. He said 4 is has a steady job, and then like the rest of them are still broke, living paycheck to paycheck. But they all had at 18, they all had that sparkle in their eye. I want to be rich. I want to be rich. I want to be a millionaire. But by the time they get 65, only 1 is financially independent, and only 5 are rich. So it's like, why though? But it's because they didn't really have realistic expectations. If you would have really broken down, right, instead of being like, oh, I want to be a millionaire, right? If 50,000 times 12 is only 600,000, right? Do you need $50,000 right now in your life? Maybe. You said great, but it comes with $50,000 worth of problems per month. You may say, man, honestly, man, if I was making $20,000 a month, $10,000 a month, $30,000 a month, I have a great life. I'd be cool, bro. I'd be, man, I don't really want that much. I want to go play the game. I want to kick it with the homies. I want to do that. You may be that person. Most people are. You feel me? Most people are really not built to be making 50 to 100,000 a month, right? You know what I'm saying? Like at 100,000 a month, 100,000 times 12, what is that? That's 1.2. So like if now to really get to that million that you talking about you want to do, it comes with a lot of work. You ain't playing the game. You ain't kicking it with the homies. You ain't chilling all day with your girl. You ain't watching a whole bunch of movies, which is a great thing to do. It's sacrifices. Are you willing to pay the cost? Most people are not. So when they talk about what they really want, and when we talk about money management and wisdom within a woman, one of the most important things you can do to decide what your wisdom is to really write out what you want and think about, are you willing to sacrifice what it takes to get this?
And I want to add to that too, because if do you have the habits to get there? And are you willing to incorporate the habits in your daily routine? That part.
Feel me? Because like I said earlier, we're creatures of habits. So if you're talking about sacrifice, you talk about habits, it comes with your habits. And what habits do you have right now that you're willing to get rid of? I'm going to be super vulnerable right now. One of my main habits that I'm telling myself, like, Martel, you got to stop this. When I get home at night, I work. When I wake up to the moment I go to sleep, I run 2 companies, like 2 global companies at that. So I'm busy as hell. So when I get home, I keep realizing I spend about 2 hours, maybe 3, just thumbing on social media, just thumbing. I'm just on my phone. Yeah. I'm just thumbing through it. I'm like, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, I'm just thumbing through social media.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, just think about if you was to, and I literally had this thought this morning when I woke up. Think about if you spent 30 minutes to read and go to sleep. Think about you spent 30 minutes to write. Think about you spent 30 minutes meditating. I meditated 5 minutes this morning. I did yoga for 5 minutes, then I did some abs. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if you spent that time at nighttime instead of because I feel like I've been working hard enough. I deserve this.
That's how it goes, right?
I deserve this little break. But imagine if instead of saying I deserve it for the next 30 to 60 days, I just lock in. Yeah. Imagine if tonight I get home and I don't get on social media and I read a book and go to sleep and wake up early and start my next day or whatever else. It's like my escape. But imagine if I stop trying to escape and I just dive into the now. I think that so many of us, especially millennials, right? Because millennials, I want to talk directly to us. Millennials, we love things.
We so hard-headed.
We will love things right now. We want instant success. We want instant popcorn. We want instant Wi-Fi. We want everything instant. If we ain't got something instant, we like, yo, what's going on?
Instant
we want that, right?
Gratification is killing us.
Boy, come on now. But delayed gratification is really the path to wealth and the path to spiritual enlightenment. Like we was talking about on part 1, to really get to wealth, you must first get to spiritual enlightenment. So you're not in survival mode, but you're in a thriving mode, right? You're in a mode of abundance, right?
That was a bar.
That was a bar.
Yeah.
So to get there, you know what I'm saying? You first must be able to achieve that. So I wanted to add that, but the mic is yours, sweetheart.
No, I asked the original question, just like as far as like, what are your thoughts on, women showing up in that way in regards to being in relationships? Because like, some successful men will argue that if she's not an asset in that way, she's going to end up being a bill over time.
Okay.
But here's the thing too. I want to say some back thoughts in regards to that statement. I feel like when I hear that statement, or because the thing is, I really listen to men speak. Like, I really decipher their words. You feel what I'm saying? So it's just like, a lot of women don't do that though. They really go in one ear and out the other.
Right.
But when I hear that, it's more so like you kind of objectifying her, and you don't really even understand the power and the value of a woman for real yet.
I disagree.
Ooh. Okay.
I disagree.
And
I'm gonna explain too. Okay, keep going.
Go ahead. Okay. Oh, okay. So as far as that, being a bill over time, whatever the case may be, often divorces statistically happen because of either finances or fidelity issues.
Right.
So, go ahead.
All right. So the reason why I said I disagree is because you said that a man is objectifying a woman when they say either she's an asset or a liability.
No, because I agree with that statement. Because I feel like as people, either you're an asset or you're a liability. I feel like we all have the potential to be both, though. Okay. I feel like it could be interchangeable.
Okay.
But what I am saying is, I don't necessarily feel like when you say that you're objectifying women, but I feel like it's some objectification up in there.
Let's keep it a buck, right?
Okay.
Like, we ain't gonna just think theory. We gonna talk real. It's always some objectification when you talking about successful men and women.
Okay.
Because it's a hierarchy that happens, right?
Okay.
And when you're at the top of this hierarchy, right, it's called Maslow hierarchy of needs, right? It's a triangle that talks about from being from abundant state to thriving to survival to your basic needs, which is like food and shelter, to needing, you know what I'm saying, like fire and being able to be comfortable and shit like that.
You said fire.
No, I mean, well, fire was before electricity, but once we had
yeah.
electricity, now we have comfort, like inside of this room we're in, right? But these were a part of the Maslow hierarchy of needs. So that's a science, right?
Yeah.
And that's a pyramid that comes. At that pyramid, the top of that pyramid is always going to have your higher status man, because your man who have more resources can provide. You ain't got to worry about shelter, food, clothes. You're worrying about other things.
Yeah.
So the average woman, right, the bulk of the population are at the middle of that pyramid and down. There's only a few that's at the top. When we talking about successful men, right, we was just talking about only 50,000 a month, and I ain't mean to say that to be like, oh, it's only, but I feel that way. I do.
Respectfully,
like, I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying? But running a corporation, you realize it's not that much money. You got payroll, you got rent, you got employees, all of this. That's not that much money. But when you making that, you are automatically at the top of that pyramid. So when we talking about the man, we talking about in this conversation, naturally is women are going to be objectified a little bit. But even with that being said, I can't say that is bad, because I will say you must be careful with what type of woman you let into your life.
Oh, for sure.
Like if I'm talking to a young man who's an entrepreneur, I'm talking to a young man who's a business owner, I will tell him, you need to pay attention to the woman that you're with on her mindset. It's not about her assets that she just brings to the table. It's more importantly about how she thinks, how she thinks and how she operates, right? Back to like how her mother, how her father instilled certain lessons into her. The way that she thinks will determine your future, your kids' future, and your life. It's the reason why the divorce rate right now is 50%. It's damn near 50%. So it's like
that
every one
wild.
out of two people who get married are getting a divorce. That's like the reality of 2024, 2023, right? So in the 20th century, right, at this point, you must be very careful with what type of woman that you actually engage with. Whether you are a man at the top or a man regular, because let's keep it funky Friday. It's Friday.
Welcome to Texas, y'all.
Let's keep it all the way funky. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy Cam Newton and Funky Friday podcast. But
he does have
that's
that.
the boy Cam. But let's keep it funky though. Everybody who is even if you're in the middle at 60 to 70,000, you're an average man making money. The average man is making somewhere between 50 to 70,000 a year. Everybody try to act like he making 100,000. That's not the average man. That man alone is superior to the average man. So the man who we talking about making 600,000, 50,000 a month, he done in 2 months. He making what the average man. He making more in 2 months than the average man making a year. It's a very small window of men who are making this amount of money. It's even smaller when you talk about black men. And most black women want to be with black men. You know what I mean? So we keep it a buck.
Yeah.
Like it's just not that many. So add a black man who is making that level of capital, right? And you wonder why he like kind of run off and get the white women or the Asian women and all this. Because he's making so much capital, he can kind of pick and choose.
Yeah.
I would tell him, though, I would personally tell him to marry a black woman, because that's what I believe he should do. Keep it in our community. But I would also tell him to be very careful of Find out who is that black woman. Find out who she is to her core. Find out who she is to her soul. Find out who she is to her mindset. Find out like the type of person she really, has.
Seriously though.
Find out how she's developed herself and why she's developed herself. And guess what? When you find out why, don't expect her to be perfect. Don't expect you to not have to help heal her. Don't expect you to not help lead her. You're going to have to help do all those things. She ain't coming to you perfect, but you just got to see how is she coming to you and what do you need to help lead her in, you know?
Yeah.
That would be my conversation to that black man or that black woman who's coming for that black man. But you got to be ready for him to ask you those questions and find out, are you the type of woman for him, or are you the right woman for him off of the woman you've became and the woman who you want to become? What's her vision for herself?
Yeah.
Right? These are important questions for a black man to ask a woman and to understand about the woman that he want to choose that's his forever mate. Because we ain't getting married to get divorced. We getting forever mates around here. I want you to find your power mate. Who's your power mate?
Your purpose mate.
Right, your purpose mate. Who is she? And to find her, you got to ask her those questions and realize who she is. You know?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I feel that though. I feel that. I don't know. I guess you know.
You know.
I do know. I always know. Not all the time, but you know, on this platform, I know what I'm talking about.
Talk to that blue heart, blue heart out here.
No, but you know, it's definitely a lot. I feel like to take in, as women, as far as just like, I just feel like it's no slight to y'all, but it almost feels as though, especially operating in these types of spaces and being ambitious and being goal oriented and all the things, and then also making sure you're showing up correctly to align with whatever mate that God has for you. It just seems like we like always got to be on.
On what though?
Like, you don't feel like, okay, sometimes, granted, this is me. Like, you know, like I'm not, it's not a situation where it's like I'm performative even in the smallest of ways. But I really like the point that you made earlier about women are too busy trying to survive and heal from what they don't even speak on to even understand how they can operate in the world, surpass that. I really appreciate you saying that because it's leading to what you feel what I'm saying, like about to say, as far as it feels like it's always something. Like it's like you always gotta be on. Like you gotta make sure you on your P's and Q's at all times. Like it's like almost not, and maybe because I also was raised to like be like a overachiever.
Okay.
So like in my household, if I brought home anything less than an A or a B, like I was in trouble. Like in trouble. Can't go outside, phone took. Yeah. All these things.
You on punishment.
Oh my God, yeah. And so, but it's caused me to be an adult that I'm hard on myself.
Yeah, that part.
So it's like.
You shouldn't be.
Right.
You should learn to give yourself more grace. But that comes with time. That comes with education. That comes with God. That comes with whether you are a spiritual, religious person. That comes with practice, right? It also comes with communication. Because at the end of the day, you are who you are. So you're going to be that way no matter what. However, if you start to talk about it, you start to change who you are. So to change who you are is to speak the new you into being. Yeah. Right? The power of the tongue is powerful.
For sure.
When in the 7 days of creation, God spoke the new creations unto earth. He spoke it. He didn't think it. He didn't visualize it. Right? Everybody be like, manifest. He ain't manifested. He spoke it. Right? And that's the thing that people forget. That's why prayer is so important. But to speak it into existence is a real thing. So even you as a woman and everybody else who's tapped in as a woman, speaking your new being, the new you, who you are, and continuing to speak it every day, because you forget it every day you wake up. You're like, oh, I forgot what I was speaking yesterday. You know what I'm saying? It's a new day. You feel a different way. And that's another thing about women. Women are more emotional beings. Men are more logical beings. Whether you love it or not, it's the truth.
It's exhausting, though. I will say, for the men that's gonna watch this, it's like this is not fun for us to be like this.
To be this emotional kind
What?
Yeah, I mean, and you know what? So this is the thing too. So I'm very into a lot of things. I read a lot of books. I'm very spiritual. So the emotional mind is your subconscious mind. The logical mind is the conscious mind. So the reason why men are more logical, we're more conscious of the things we're doing day to day and how we do it. So we're just logical. The problem that most men have is subconsciously, we don't have that great thing speaking to us saying that we're great. This is why a woman can change a man's life. A woman could completely transform a man.
Yeah.
Just by speaking life into him.
Yeah.
Because when you speak life into him in his subconscious, he don't even know it. But he could be asleep as a woman. And if you a woman, listen to this, try this with your man. While he sleep, sit there and pray over your man that night. Talk to him, speak to him. He don't even know. He can be knocked out. He can be snoring. He can be whatever. Speak to him and speak to his subconscious mind, because it would change the way that man wake up the next day. It would change the way that man go about his day. It would change the things that man do every day. And if you a man listening to this, understand your woman is already in her subconscious. She's not in her conscious mind. So speak to your woman throughout her day. Send her messages telling her that she's great. Send her messages checking in on her. Those little things that we take for granted. We like, oh, baby, you told me I'm great. I know that already. That ain't do nothing for me. For her, that didn't change her whole day.
She be needing that charge too.
That. Yeah, she needs that. So she gonna speak life into you by loving you, by rubbing on your belly, by cooking you good food, by making you feel good when you get home. A woman gonna make you feel good. As a man, you must make your woman consciously understand that she's the greatest. Understand that she's good. Speak that life into her. Because if you do both, right, now we're dealing with the subconscious and the conscious mind. That's how you become one. That's how you become equally yoked, right, as they like to say. So I just wanted to add that because you kind of sparked that thought in my mind. So
give him his tens, guys.
Bring that enlightenment.
No, you ate that up. I like that. Okay, well, we've come to the end of the episode, but obviously
this is a good episode.
It was a great episode. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. But before we close out, what is some wisdom, some final thoughts that you want to leave our audience, our women, our men, whomever that may tune in?
I want you to know, if you really real, go follow me on Instagram, Martel Matthews, MartelMatthews. That's my personal page. Follow me, support my brands. You'll see it in my bio. I ain't gonna shout all of them out, but it's Black Wall Street and Good Feeling Hemp. But my wisdom that I want to say, whether you are Christian, whether you are, Hindu, whether you are Muslim, whether you are any spiritual, whether you don't believe, well, no, I want you to believe in God, but I can't say period.
We love God.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
We heavy on God over here, but I do want you to understand that though you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, you should fear no evil, and I do want you to understand that it's a lot of demons that are trying to oppose you. Some of them demons that are trying to oppose you are inside of your own head. Some of them demons that are trying to oppose you are your past memories and your past enemies and your past thoughts that's telling you that you're not great, that you're not enough, that you're ugly, that you're dumb, that you're not smart. And I want to tell you, you're beautiful, you're smart, you are enough. You can accomplish anything that you set your mind to. I want to tell you that God loves you, and that if your mama don't love you, if your daddy don't love you, if your family don't love you, God loves you. It's someone who does love you. So I want you to be able to tap in and overcome those demons, because it's greatness inside of you. All you got to do is be able to tap into that greatness, and don't let nothing, I mean absolutely nothing, hold you back. And I also want to tell you that don't think about time. Because you may say, it ain't happened over a week. It ain't happened in a day. It may take you 3 months. It may take you 6 months. It's like a weight loss journey. It don't happen overnight. But I promise you, and I mean I absolutely promise you, that if you actually focus in and continue to strive for greatness and strive for more, whether it take you a month, whether it take you 3 months, 6 months, or a year, you will see your life transform. And you will thank yourself And God's going to thank you because you walking in your righteousness. And the last thing I want to leave y'all with is that at the end of the day, understand that we're spiritual beings having an earthly experience. And all the money, all the wealth, everything that you acquire on this earth means absolutely nothing. Remember that the first will be last and the last will be first. The real leaders of the universe, the real leaders of God are servants. The Son of God came here to be a servant amongst all. So stop striving so much to be the one popping, to be the one that's him, and strive more to be a servant. And you will be blessed internally after you leave this place forever and ever. Amen. Ashe. I love you.
I don't even have any final thoughts after that.
I love you.
I'm like, when he like, at the end of the day, I'm like, the day gotta end.
I just had to speak that from my soul, man.
I love that. I appreciate you. I appreciate, just you being here. All of the insight that you gave to the people. This was great. This was amazing.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure. I love being in your presence. I want to tell you, as a 25-year-old woman, I see nothing but greatness in you. I see nothing but God in you. You are a divine being, and you're really elevating your soul. So don't stop. Yeah. Keep it going no matter what come up against you. It's going to be a lot of hurdles that come up against you because you're a woman of God. And hey, don't forget it. This earth that we on, this ain't God playing field. You feel me? His playing field is internal. But the playing field we on, you built for this, so you gonna make it. Keep doing your thing, shawty. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. But yes, guys, this has been another episode of Wisdom for Women. I am your host, Aries Simone. Please tune in every Sunday, 6 p.m. Keep subscribing to the channel. Bye, guys. Peace.